right, so now our ingredients are ready. Our eucalyptus syrup is ready here. We have pressed the lime juice, all are ready to go. And then now it's time to assemble the cocktail. So before we begin, we're gonna put a bit of ice in our cocktail glass. So while we're preparing our drink, the glass is gonna be nice and cold. And if you have the opportunity to put the glass in your fridge or your freezer, is even better. And we're gonna start with gin, and we're gonna stick to the 2-1-1 template. So we're gonna do 2 parts gin, 1 part sweet, 1 part sour, and then we're gonna build our flavors on top of that classic template. 50 mils of gin. And then we're going to take half a measure of that, which is 25 of the eucalyptus syrup. And then the same amount of our acidity, which is lime juice, so 25 mils of lime. So technically now, we have our base template for our cocktail, which is a delicious sour style drink, but this is just a template for you to add more flavors. So I'm gonna work with the color contrast theory, and now we have green flavors in here. I'm gonna add a bit of red to create a nice flavor contrast, and that's just a little bit of raspberries I'm gonna put in, just 3 pieces. So the raspberries, they add to a little bit of the sweetness, and then also the contrast of the raspberries are gonna heighten the flavor of the eucalyptus, which is the main flavor in the drink. To create a bit of texture, we're gonna use egg whites and just crack open the egg and then move the yolk from side to side so all the egg whites goes into the drink. And what's gonna happen here is once we start shaking, so the acidity is going to break down some of the proteins from the egg, and then when we start shaking, that's going to create a nice lovely foam and going to give the drink a nice texture. So now we're going to ice up our cocktail glass. Remember to fill it up as much as possible. Put on top and give it a good long shake to create the foam and texture that you want in this drink. Now, when you shake here, you can actually feel in the shaker that the foam is starting to be created, and then the texture is changing, and that's when you know that you are almost done. There we go. The martini glass is nice and cold. Then we just strain our cocktail directly into our chilled martini glass, and then you can see the texture of the drink and the foam from the egg whites. And the fun part is here, the cocktail is called Eucalyptus Breeze, and you're expecting something green when you hear eucalyptus, but a little bit of hint of raspberry changes the color and then gives it a little surprising element. As a garnish, a little bit of piece of eucalyptus. And here you have it, the Eucalyptus Breeze.